Mad Max, one of the greatest dystopian action films of all time, comes to 4K Blu-ray. Is this the release to end all releases? Let's check it out. Welcome back, guys. My name is Scott Reviews, and we are going to talk about the Mad Max 4K Blu-ray. We're going to first start with unboxings. We're going to compare some of the previous releases, and I'm going to give you my final verdict. I love this movie so much. From the opening chase with the Knight Rider to Hugh Keays-Byrne's performance as the villainous toe cutter, and Mel Gibson's transformation as the anti-hero we know and love in the series. It's a movie not to be missed. Now, when a lot of people think of Mad Max, they think of this post-apocalyptic wasteland, but really that doesn't show up until Mad Max 2, or The Road Warrior. But the first Mad Max actually starts a little bit in the near future. Not everything has been destroyed quite yet. I think a lot of people do appreciate this movie, but maybe not in the same way as The Road Warrior. But to me, I love all the Mad Max movies. Great, great. Not you, great. Even Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, yes. So let's get into the unboxing. So let's check this out. We got this cool, awesome, I think it's the international poster, slip cover on the front, 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray. Inside, we do get the American poster, the Maximum Force of the Future, Mad Max 4K Ultra HD. Looks pretty good, really simplistic. I like it. And then inside, we get the discs. The discs artwork, very simple. KL Studio Classics on both of them. If you've purchased any of their previous releases, you're probably knowing what you're going to expect. The spine is pretty simplistic, but the slipcover has the cool chrome-looking Mad Max logo on it. There's been so many editions of Mad Max on Blu-ray that one has to wonder, is this 4K UHD a worthwhile upgrade? Now let's talk about the transfer. I think the transfer is pretty solid. They did do some cleanup with this for the 4K versus the Blu-ray. It has a similar color scheme, so if you're familiar with how the Blu-ray looks, it is similar in that aspect. The one big reason I'm going to tell you why you should absolutely upgrade this to the 4K Blu-ray is not just for the 4K. If you don't have a 4K player, that's totally fine. What this does that the other Blu-ray releases have not done successfully, the original Australian mono track is preserved on this disc, both the 4K and the Blu-ray. Let's check out some comparisons. The history of Mad Max on home video and in theaters is a strange one. The film was originally recorded and released in mono audio. The Australian-made production was made on a low budget and in the late 1970s. Interesting fact, US distributors released Mad Max with an American dubbed mono version replacing the original Australian actors' voices, including Mel Gibson. The results were terrible, but it was the only way to see Mad Max on VHS, Laserdisc, and DVD up until 2002, when MGM released their DVD release with the original Australian mono audio along with new extras. American audiences could finally hear what Australian audiences heard back in 1979. On the same disc, they included the American dub track and newly created 5.1 stereo surround soundtrack based on the Australian mono audio. The results are a huge mixed bag with dialogue missing that's found on the same disc, and new Foley sound effects, creating the stereo effect. When MGM created the Blu-ray release in 2010, they ported that 5.1 stereo surround soundtrack and the American dubbed version and also extras. But instead of porting the original Australian mono audio from the 2002 DVD, they included a mono track that was actually a mixdown of the 5.1. This disc is used for all Mad Max anthology and high-octane box set releases from Warner Brothers. Now, to coincide with the release of Mad Max Fury Road 5 years later, Shout Factory released a collector's edition of Mad Max with new extras, and sadly, the same 5.1 Australian mono fold-down track from the MGM Blu-ray. And while the new extras are solid, the movie's compression looks worse than the MGM Blu-ray. And the ported extras from the MGM DVD also have weird flickering issues on all of the select scenes from the film. So what do I think about this release? bad. This, good. Here are some examples of the differences between the release's mono audio. I'm using the Blu-ray for each company's release, referencing an Australian broadcast from the early 80s. This is the oldest source available that I could find of the original Australian mono audio.
Careful, my foot, man. Hey, listen, I had nothing to do with anything going on back there, man. Hey, listen, I had nothing to do with anything going on back there, man. Hey, listen, I had nothing to do with anything going on back there, man. Careful, my foot, man. Hey, listen, I had nothing to do with anything going on back there, man.
Now, unless if there's a different older source that proves otherwise, the Kino release has the original Australian mono audio. Honestly, if you do plan to upgrade, these don't even need anymore because all the extras are on here. Plus, you get a new interview with the director, George Miller. And it is I want to say it's like a Zoom interview, but he gives a lot of insight, and he's also kind of sorely missed in some of the other extras. So having him in an interview with this is so worthwhile. So final verdict, I think Kino Lorber did a fantastic job giving the fans what we've been asking for, at least I've been asking. I've been like tweeting at them and Facebooking them as soon as this was announced. So finally we get the original Australian mono track. It is preserved on here, just like the MGM DVD from 2002. It's on here. The Blu-ray is the same master as the MGM and the Scream Factory. So if you liked that one, it's on here, but you get the original mono track, not a down mix. And the 4K Blu-ray is pretty good. So I would say if you don't have a 4K Blu-ray player, just get this release and you have it, you're future-proofed. The only thing that I would say is maybe kind of a negative is I wish that it would include the Madness of Max documentary. It's 2.5 hours. That's on the Mad Max anthology set. I was hoping that they could license it for this release, but without it, you're still getting a good value. And for $24, it's totally worth it. Well guys, that's it for this review. If you liked it, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe as well. And I will catch you guys in the next one.